Gunn approaches, toe meets leather. We're underway here in Death Valley. Then Gunn will sail it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Then we'll have our first opportunity of seeing Goose Crowder. Yes, named after Goose from Top Gun. He and his brother were both big fans of the film. So Goose got his nickname and it stuck.
It's too bad he doesn't have a mustache, but he's got a new and improved body, as they say. He's got hurt last year. Concussions, took himself out towards the past couple months of the season, but now he's healthy. Big off season for him. They thought he could improve the efficiency from week 1, but he's their unquestioned leader. West Virginia transfer. They're hoping that the quick pass game from him, that's got to be a staple in this offensive attack. Clemson's defensive line is too good.
Throwing on first down. Screen. Good pickup first down on first down. That's Ra Thomas. And if you're a fan of Georgia or Mississippi State or anywhere in the SEC, you're familiar with that. Dave transferred first from Mississippi State to Georgia and then here to Troy in the offseason.
And you can tell that's a point of emphasis for them. Obviously, Troy's going to not have any personnel matchups that are in their favor facing Clemson, but that is one guy. Ra Thomas started at Georgia, transferred to Troy. Maybe on some of those one-on-one matchups, they look his way today.
Crowder in the gun with Tay Meadows, the former walk-on. Gets the carry right in the teeth of that Clemson defense, maybe a yard as he gets pushed back. Peter Woods on the tackle with some teammates, and 11 in orange is someone we're going to talk about a lot this afternoon.
We were talking with Jared Parker, Troy's head coach, and he said, hey, this is the best Clemson defense that I've seen since I've been coaching high-level college football. I asked him why. He said that front seven for Clemson, they're deep, they're active, they got NFL talent at both levels, all three levels really, but especially defensive line and at that linebacker position. This Troy offense just has to keep them honest with the run game. Can't get behind the sticks.
2nd down and 9 for Crowder. Throw quickly to the outside. Has a receiver still on his feet inside of Clemson territory. Wade Woodaz out there in coverage. But not before Ethan Connor, tight end, who was split out on that play, picked up 16.
That's a great recognition by Goose Crowder, seeing corner cat pressure. That means the corner's blitzing from the boundary. Clemson does not pick up the receiver and shift over quick enough. That's that veteran knowledge, seeing a lot of football, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. You can tell early the 2 pass plays, quick game. They're not going to get 3rd and 4th progression type passes. It's got to be one read and get the ball out.
Tailback Jordan Lovett split to the bottom of your screen. The Trojans have trips. Crowder looking to throw. Pressure up the middle. Tunnel screen inside. Again, Woodaz on the tackle, but 4 yards on the play for DJ Epps.
It's good blocking there on that tight end for Troy, Ethan Connor. Maybe that's a matchup they can exploit, splitting the tight end out wide and getting the blocking advantage, but this is a Troy offense that so far has to like their start.
Woodaz lost his helmet on the play, so he'll have to come out for one play. Kobe McLeod begin to back him up. Pick of about 3 on 1st down. Now empty backfield for Crowder. Clemson brings just 4. Crowder on a double move, has a receiver wide open inside the 10. Touchdown, Troy! The fastest man on the field for the Trojans, Trey Taylor, goes 44 yards, and Troy is broken out on top early.
This is a phenomenal play call by offensive coordinator Sean Reagan. They're going to motion their running back out wide. They know they got man coverage. Do a little double move. Try to get one-on-one on the outside. This is a Clemson defense that prides themselves on their ability to play man, and what a start for Troy. Goose Crowder doing a great job getting the ball out of his hands quickly, finding the one-on-one matchup, and Troy taking advantage.
Scott Taylor Renfro in for the PAT. Flag down. Let's check the marker. Tim Hedgepeth is our referee today in this ACC crew.
Personal foul, leaping Defense number 49. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The try is good.
Personal foul enforced on the kickoff. What an opening drive for Troy. 5 plays, they go 75 yards. Crowder, 4 for 4 on the drive. Talk to me, Goose. Goose Crowder, the redshirt junior from Gardendale, Alabama, by way of West Virginia. Perfect on that opening drive for Troy. 4 for 4 and just the one running play. And why not when Crowder's putting it on the money like he was? The long touchdown pass to Trey Taylor, and just like that, Troy strikes quickly. After the 15-yard penalty, Clemson's going to fall on it on the 13, so it'll be backed up a little bit offensively when Cade Klubnik and company take the field.
They're able to do that, too, because of the penalty on the PAT.
Set the game clock for 12 minutes, 4 seconds. 12:04 on the play, on the game clock, please.
What do you want to see here early from Clemson coming off the game where they struggled against LSU?
12:04 on the game clock, please.
I want to see Cade respond, and he's done that throughout his career at Clemson. I mean, you look back, he took over the job late 2022, 2023, big expectations, didn't go according to plan. He responded in 2024 last year, 36 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Now the expectations are back. Didn't play his best football a week ago. Got to get back to normal.
And they want to get to running the football as well. Adam Randall, the converted wide receiver. Now they're bell cow back. Picks up about 3 yards. Talik Robbins on the tackle.
Yeah, they felt like they missed some routine pass plays in that game versus LSU. And then with Randall, they felt like they didn't feature him enough. Only one run in the second half. And sometimes as a play caller, you get in games like that, you're so excited to call the plays that you scheme up all week, and you forget to lean on number 8 in the backfield.
Now he's in motion at the top of your screen. He'll block on the screen pass. Read well by number 3 for Troy. That's Devin Lafayette, who the coaches say is their best defensive player, and he showed it on that play.
Yeah, you're going to see 3 flying around this field. Very much plays the, Caleb Downs at Ohio State. I'm not saying he's that level of player in terms of NFL trajectory, but in terms of how the defense relies on him to hang back there as really a third safety, sometimes a linebacker at depth. They're going to allow him to run the alley and make a lot of tackles for this Troy defense. 3rd down and 5. Randall will again split out to the bottom of your screen in the slot. Klubnik to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. As a receiver, couldn't connect. That was TJ Moore. He wasn't able to squeeze it before Lafayette put a shoulder into him. It's going to be a 3 and out on Clemson's first drive. Good clean hit by Lafayette. They're trying to get TJ Moore breaking on an in route. It's good pressure by this Troy defensive line, collapsing the pocket. And a bang-bang play right there. No Antonio Williams, the star Clemson receiver today. He got hurt the first drive of last week with a hamstring. So TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco Jr., the 2 true sophomores who they're really excited about, need to step up today. Jack Smith to punt from his own 3. It's a good kick, driving Peyton Higgins back to his 32. Nowhere to go. He's dropped right there. Good job on special teams. Wade Woodaz down in coverage. 51 yards on the kick. Nothing on the return. Goose had a fantastic first drive. What's he going to do for an encore? He was sharp, getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Good game plan, too. Not making his quarterback think at all. Some RPOs, again, trying to get one-on-one matchups, force this Clemson team to tackle. And then when you get your big play opportunities, you got to convert. There's not going to be many in this game. Clemson let that one go. Troy takes advantage. And this is probably the last thing Troy wants to see with the great start they're having. A lightning delay. Lightning has been detected within 8 miles of the stadium. That means teams have to leave the field. Fans have to leave the stands as well. And this is happening all over the Southeast. If you're watching in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia, we've had a lot of games that have been postponed. This one is going to be postponed just about 4 minutes and 17 seconds in. It's a great point by you, though. That's the last thing you want with for Troy. Not only did you have momentum offensively, but it is dry right now. And in these inconsistent weather games, these early possessions. Defensively, Devin Lafayette, their safety, came up with 2 plays there. Seen back after the tough loss versus LSU. Didn't do that through 2 drives so far.
Just before the delay, Clemson punted it off after that 3-and-out. Fair catch at their own 32. That's where we're going to start right now, with still just less than 5 minutes gone in this game, with Troy in their second offensive possession from their own 32, 1st and 10. And at the 10:43 mark, we begin. And right off the bat, that's a second-string quarterback, Tucker Gilchrist, who we thought we might see in some run packages, gets involved here early.
Yeah, they said that they have a couple plays scripted for him. A little bit of a head-scratcher for me, a little bit, in terms of you had momentum with your starting quarterback. Why? I know it's been an hour and a half delay, but why even mess with that, especially that first drive, the quick passing game's going. That to me is a head-scratching decision to start this, I was going to say first quarter, but the revamped first quarter.
Correct. The start of our second first quarter, which began at about the 2:40 mark. Now ticking down to 10 minutes. Goose Crowder back in the game after a loss of 1 on first down. Crowder looking to throw. Gets a short pass off. Finds a receiver, but not much there. Maybe a yard. As Wade Woodaz, who was busy before the delay and is busy once again, makes the stop. They'll give him about 3.
Gets it to at least 3rd and manageable for Troy. They love these linebackers for Clemson. Dabo Swinney knows he's got a few special ones. Sammy Brown at one spot, Wade Woodaz on the other. These linebackers can fly around. Great tackling in space, athletic as well, and every bit of size that you want out of that position.
3rd down and 7. Jordan Lovett is the back for Troy. Crowder play fakes to him. Hits a receiver close to that marker to gain, and he's driven back. The official is right on it. Thomas was the receiver, and he was able to move the sticks.
We highlighted this before the delay, but Ra Thomas, the Georgia transfer, big-bodied receiver. It's a great job catching it with your hands and then fighting for forward momentum. He was right at the sticks, on-target throw. Thought they maybe had a little run play there, but Goose Crowder elects to throw it, and rightfully so. Again, that's the matchup if you're a Troy fan. Number 7, Ra Thomas. Not that it's an advantage for Troy, but maybe there's some packages you can take advantage of.
And he's being checked by the All-American Avian Terrell at cornerback. Crowder again to throw, pressure up the middle. They got him. That was DeMonte Capehart, who would not be denied.
We've talked about how athletic and active this defensive line is. That's a beat right from the jump. Capehart getting active. Not easy to get that level of pass rush as a defensive tackle, especially when the quarterback breaks the pocket. But credit 19 for getting involved. And if you're Troy, those are the plays that you cannot have happen. If you're breaking the pocket, got to find a way to throw that ball away. Throw it at your running back's feet. Can't get behind the sticks like this.
Loss of 9 on the play. Good pitch and catch. That time it was the tight end Ethan Connor again. Ricardo Jones, a safety on the tackle, but they'll move Connor. Connor's a big body. They'll move him out and split him out and treat him as a big wideout.
He's been active and athletic in this game plan. I mean, you can tell they're trying to feature him. He's a tight end, but they've split him out a couple times. Obviously, right there on a little corner route. I like his athleticism. It's a good job by Goose Crowder getting the ball out of his hands, but again, 3rd and 6 here. Last time they went number 7's way, Ra Thomas. Wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing here on the top of your screen.
Crowder to throw, pressure off the edge. Tried to set up the screen to his tailback Meadows, and it falls incomplete. Jaheim Lawson led the way for Clemson. Cade Denhoff in there as well. First incomplete pass from the arm of Goose Crowder on the day.
This is excellent recognition by Wade Woodaz, that linebacker. You can tell they're trying to bring him on a pass pass rush. He's like, these guys are trying to screen me. Follows that back. That could have been a big play if 17's football awareness did not come through there.
Evan Crenshaw to punt it away. And Brian Wesco Jr. will just let this one bounce. And it's a good kick. Bouncing out of bounds inside the 10. So Clemson, for the second time in as many drives, will start inside their 10. We talked about it, and it bears repeating. Cade Klubnik coming off a tough opening game right here on this field against LSU. Starting this game with a 3-and-out, and then an hour-and-a-half weather delay.
Hour-and-a-half weather delay, 6 days of sitting with the frustration after the LSU game, 9 months of sitting with all these offseason expectations, people saying he's the best quarterback in college football, maybe the #1 quarterback in next year's NFL draft. I'm sure he just wants to play football and start having some success.
Randall gets hammered after picking up maybe a yard, maybe nothing. Talik Robbins on the tackle.
You can see some of that belief on this Troy defense. They've got one stop, 1 3-and-out. If there was any indecision heading into this game, that first drive before the delay helped them.
Klubnik to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, hits Randall out of the backfield. Pick up about 6. It's the one thing that offensive coordinator Garrett Riley and Dabo talked about is Randall is that converted wide receiver, so the entire route tree is open to him in terms of being able to get out the passing patterns.
And how unique is that? It's one thing to have a receiver converted to running back as a small guy. Adam Randall is 6'2", 235, can be a bruiser behind the tackles, but then also be a weapon in the pass game.
3rd down and 4. Klubnik to throw. Has a man, but short of the line to gain. That was Moore who brought it in, but no gain. And for the second time in as many drives, we're going to have a 3-and-out. Now a lot of laundry on the field. Late flags coming in after the whistle. A couple of them.
#1, his first of the game. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That is an absolute killer. Luis Medina, the defensive lineman, guilty, and that'll extend this drive.
And you can see defensive coordinator Dante Wright is irate. Same with his head coach as well. That cannot happen. Medina is the lone non-transfer starting defensive lineman. You can see the C on his chest. They're going to count on him to not only be a leader, but hold up against this strong Clemson offensive line. A killer penalty right there.
1st down and 10 now from the 32. And a fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Klubnik to throw. And has all kinds of time. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. That was Talik Robbins. He's had himself a great start to this game, batting it down.
It's a head scratcher too with that penalty. He wasn't even involved in the play, Medina. This is a defensive line. They feel like they have a good quality Sun Belt version of it, Sun Belt level defensive line. Obviously, it's a tall test going in against Clemson, but they have some edge rushers they like, and they feel like they have some size in the middle.
Randall out of the backfield. It spins away from one. Picks up a couple. Maybe a yard. This is slow going for this Clemson offense.
Slow going, nothing complex. You're allowing this Troy defense to just fly around. The big message for Dabo Swinney all week was we got to establish the run. On one side, you want to establish the run as you're seeing offensive coordinator Garrett Riley. On the other side, you're trying to get your quarterback in rhythm. He hasn't been in rhythm the entire season. Those two can work against each other. But at a certain point, your advantage if you're Clemson is up front. You have a running back in Adam Randall, like we talked about, 235 pounds. Give him the rock.
Now you got to convert on 3rd and 9, though. Randall stays in the block. Receiver open, makes the catch over the middle. And the forward progress will be enough for a 1st down. Tight end Olsen Pat Henry on the reception. And the first down of the game in the crowd that had been very restless before and after the delay. He's a little sigh of relief. Now maybe Klubnik can get going. That's Brown. makes the catch, short gain, now trying to regain his footing and does. Give him about 4 yards. Tyler Brown is a player that's going to have himself a good game because he's filling that slot receiver spot with Antonio Williams out.
And in the open, we talked about some of those missed opportunities a week ago versus LSU. Well, Tyler Brown was oftentimes that receiver of beating the defender against LSU, just the ball wasn't finding them. Again, with Antonio Williams, their star receiver, out, Tyler Brown gets an elevated role today.
The end around, Moore slipped as that wet turf got him after a 3-yard gain. There's Antonio Williams. Hamstring injury early in the opener against LSU. Had to sit out the rest of that game. Precautionary. Wanted to sit him out this week with the game at Georgia Tech. Their ACC opener next week.
This is a receiver room that some people are saying it's the best in the country. He's a big reason why, but the guys that are getting opportunities today, TJ Moore, Bryant Wesco Jr., Tyler Brown, we know they're good college receivers. Can they level up to be, elite weapons?
Another third down. Klubnik trying to get it to Moore downfield. He makes the catch. Then it comes out. They're going to rule it incomplete. Defending on the play was Kalina Levine, and he made a heck of a play as it looked like Moore was going to come down with it.
This is phenomenal fight on the outside by Levine. He's beat right there. It looks like the receiver comes down with it, TJ Moore, but he keeps fighting, finds a way to get his right arm in there, scratching, clawing, doing whatever he can to get the ball out, and that's exactly what he does. What a huge third down stop right there by the 5'11 corner.
Clemson will once again be forced to punt. Jack Smith comes in. Peyton Higgins standing by at his own 7-yard line, high and short. A great punt as Higgins is forced to make the fair catch right there at the 7, 41 yards. And no return. Coming up tonight at 7:30 Eastern, Vandy taking on Virginia Tech and Blacksburg. You can also see that game on the ESPN app. So you can watch it anywhere and everywhere you are. That is an interesting game right there. SEC, ACC. Vanderbilt kind of had that coming out party last year, if you will.
That's what I was just going to say. I think a lot of the college football world had the Vanderbilt coming out party being the Alabama game. That was really the one. Week 1 last year, I believe it was, in Nashville. People didn't know who Diego Pavia was. Well, the Hokies found out last year. It's going to be a fun atmosphere, though. I've been a road opponent there. You turn the corner, you see Mike Vick's retired jersey in the stadium. Enter Sandman. It's a tough place to play, as we all know.
Crowder couldn't quite hit his receiver on the far side.
The mindset here for Goose Crowder is just get yourself a first down. Just get one first down. Field position's very much a factor, backed up. What you can't have happen is go 3 and out, put your punter on the Clemson letters in the end zone, and give this Clemson return team an opportunity to make a play.
They really put it on Crowder's arm in this game early. Only a couple of rushing attempts. Lovett is in the backfield. Bring a man in motion. Crowder looking that way. Hits the man that was in motion. Out of bounds quickly is Peyton Higgins. Gives him a good pickup on second down, so they've got an opportunity for the entire playbook open here on 3rd and about 7.
Good job using shifts and motions right there. Higgins started on the left side of the quarterback, motion to the right, leaks out into the flat, gives your quarterback an easy completion. Yeah, the mindset for Troy heading into this game is they know over the course of 4 quarters, they can't hang up necessarily in the run game. It's got to be an identity of quick pass game to loosen up the defense, and then the run game to keep them honest. It's different from their normal identity. Usually they want to be a run-first team.
Waterlogged crowd on their feet. Flag down as the pass is batted high up in the air and picked off. Picked off by Ashton Hampton. A second flag came in closer to where Hampton made the pick, so let's check the marker. Our referee, Tim Hedgepeth, discussing things with his crew. We have flags at completely opposite sides of the field, and they came in at 2 different times.
The ruling on the field is the ball was tipped, therefore there is no foul for defensive pass interference. illegal formation, offense. That penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Hampton's INT stands, and after recovering 2 fumbles last week, Clemson's defense gets their first pick.
And they're saying there's some tugging, but it doesn't matter if the ball's already out of the receiver's hand and it's tipped. Most importantly, credit this Clemson defense for coming up with the big play. Sometimes when a team's playing sluggish, they need a big play to get them out of their own head and spark momentum on their side. Defense maybe picking up the offense here.
Klubnik back at it. Gives to Randall, up the middle. Good pickup on first down of 5 yards. Talik Robbins back in the game. He was shaken up on the last Clemson drive, so good news for Troy. Defensive lineman back in.
I mentioned how unique it is to have a guy transfer from receiver to running back, have the guy be 235 pounds, but I also think it's unique just in general. Adam Randall, that is, that Clemson had that void at running back that he was able to fill. I mean, keep in mind, Jay Haynes is out. They're hoping he's coming back later this year.
Randall again along the right side, giving 3. It'll bring up 3rd and 2. Good chance we'll see a couple of true freshman running backs in Gideon Davidson and David Ziomume.
Looks like they're going to sub out Cade Klubnik and put in the backup, Christopher Vizina. Maybe for a running package. Again, they also were looking to get him in the game as well, get him some experience.
Keith Adams as well, the battering ram at tailback 19. They'll use him as a blocker. Vizina forward, won't get there. Luke Hodge with the stop for Troy. And it'll bring up 4th down and 2.
The backup linebacker. No one with the backup quarterback in the game. It's likely a QB run type of tendency. That is a great job stepping up, reading your keys, filling that gap, and not giving Clemson an easy first down.
Crowd remains uneasy here in Death Valley.
There's some tension.
Yeah, Nolan Hooser comes in to kick it from 40 yards on 4th and 2. Whistles blow. Clemson wants a timeout to think things over here. 16 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Still no points on the board for the 8th-ranked Tigers.
This Clemson offense desperately needs a big play just to kind of pop the bubble, pop the tension, get everyone out of their own heads. The offense isn't on rhythm. It feels like sometimes when they're trying to establish the run, well, then Cade's not getting in rhythm. When they're trying to establish Cade's rhythm in the passing game, well, then you're not getting Adam Randall involved in the running game. Got to find a way to marry that up if you're Garrett Riley.
And it looks like the offense is coming out on the field for the Tigers.
This to me is a mindset thing more than anything else. Guys, come on now. Been sluggish to start this game. Big boys up front, open up some holes, give it to your 235-pound running back and get this first down.
And whistles before the snap, and now Troy wants to talk things over.
Charge timeout. Troy, the first of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Head coach Jared Parker calling his team over. Along with, you see Dante Wright, called to his right, and your left, watching it on the screen. 2 best friends who grew up together as defensive coordinator.
Very cool story. Like you said, grew up together, became best friends, late middle school, early high school.
There's Dante.
One of those things that, you know, Jared Parker always knew he wanted to be a head coach, and in the back of his mind, you're always keeping a list of who might be the guys supporting you, your coordinators and your play callers and whatnot. There was no question for Parker. He always knew Dante Wright, when the opportunity would happen, that would be his defensive coordinator. They spent time together at West Virginia most recently, but like you said, the relationship goes way back.
Here we go, 4th and 2. Cade changing the play. Randall powers forward for the first down. Ball comes out. Still live. Picked up by Troy. That's Justin Poe down the sideline. He's got blockers with him all the way into Clemson territory near the 30. It looked like Randall was going to fall forward for the first down and convert. Instead, the ball pops out. Poe picks it up. He goes 51 yards, and Troy's back in business again.
The question will be, was his knee down? I didn't see who was scratching and clawing, but again, these Trojans trying to get that ball out. It was Luke Hodge, again, the reserve middle linebacker, shown up again on a 3rd and 4th and short. Ball's out. From that angle, it looked like it was out. Justin Poe picks it up. Not only you get the turnover, but you get probably 40 yards in field position.
The ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense is under further review.
They are going to review this. Steve Jost is our replay official today. He will put a keen eye on it, as we will as well. Another big play made by this Troy defense. Take another look.
It's going to be whether or not he was down before the ball gets dislodged.
Can't see it from that angle.
Yep.
This one will be better. That is really close.
And that angle's tough too because his left shoulder blocks the football from that angle a little bit. And you need indisputable video evidence to overturn it. Let's see if this angle is even better.
Looked like that elbow may have been down. I think it's the elbow or the hip. Do you agree with that we're kind of looking at?
I agree. That's what we're looking at. I was checking the
left
knee.
Elbow down. That's bang, bang. Is it enough for the replay official to determine that this is indisputable? Look at the left elbow. Just there. You can't see the ball. It's almost like one video you can see the elbow and the other video you can see the ball, but you can't see one where we have both of them inside. And so remember, the call on the field was a fumble recovered and run back by Troy, so we're going to have to see indisputable evidence to overturn that.
I even think the hip...
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, Troy.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Not enough to overturn that. You'll notice at home, new in college football this year, the verbiage upheld rather than stands or confirmed, eliminating that nuance in the game. But it was upheld, and what a huge play for Troy. I talked so much about Clemson getting a big play. The Trojan helmet is alive and well for that defense.
The turnover, Trojan helmet. Love it. On the screen pass, has room to run inside the 20. Flag down, well behind the play. 15 yards if it stands. We got to check the marker.
This is going to be on slot receiver Peyton Higgins for an illegal crackback block. Bang, bang call. It was awfully close, at least from my eye up here.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block with targeting, offense number 2, 15-yard penalty. It's still first down. The play is under further review.
This one's going to be tough because Higgins eases up. You can tell he has the awareness.
After they were able to had a big gain on that first down, after they marched off, that's kind of where they figured it out. Now the targeting was taken away from Peyton Higgins, so he's still in the game. The wide out, but the 15-yard crackback stands.
Yeah, they deemed it was not to the head or neck area and not with the crown of the helmet.
Goose has a receiver, hits him at the 28. That's DJ Epps.
Again, good job by Goose Crowder, utilizing his legs. And then you have this Clemson defensive line that's big, athletic, fast. Get outside the pocket, move the spot on them. Don't just allow them to pin their ears back and come after you. Troy has had some success with those rollout corner routes in different variations. I wonder if they, at some point, tee up a double move where they fake like they're going on a corner route and break across the face of these safeties that are probably trying to jump one and make a big play.
Crowder keeps it. Lowers his shoulder. He's going to pick up the first down. Send it down to Kendra Douglas on the field.
Well, guys, you could say that this is almost a bounce-back season for Goose Crowder and what he's been able to do. He wanted to get stronger and faster, but of course, when he was out last season, he had some time to think about how he could also help this team. Remember, he had 2 head injuries that really kept him out of the game. I asked Goose how he stayed connected. He told me he did everything he could, used his voice in the locker room, helping out other quarterbacks. Head coach Jared Parker said he noticed that too, telling me that Goose has the total command of the locker room, and Goose admitted he is definitely hungry, and there's a sense of urgency to be out here.
Right now, he's got command of this game. Flea flicker pass. And that one was doomed from the start. As the tight end, Ethan Connor, was covered nicely on the play.
Yeah, a little double reverse pass. Trying to get the big play. No need to have a red zone opportunity. Let's just try to get it all in one try. They're trying to tee up Ethan Connor, which keep an eye on him. That tight end. He looks like a receiver, lining up as tight end. They've featured him on a few plays. Credit DeMonte Capehart, though, 19, defensive tackle for Clemson, was right in the face of Goose Crowder and did not allow that play to develop.
Jamal Anderson in coverage, too, from his linebacker spot. 2nd down and 10. They give the Meadows. Maybe a couple.
Going into this game, too, this Troy offensive line, they've had this starting 5 pretty much secured from the first day of fall camp. They're going to start a true freshman, Paul Bowling, at center. What an atmosphere. Welcome to college football, young man, in Death Valley, week 2. But they got trust in him. He's a big body. Mentally can keep up, and the guys around him, a lot of experience. So they're certainly not going to push Clemson around, but they're not going to flinch at the big moment this is.
First true freshman to start at center on record in Troy history. Crowder to throw, ball pass behind his receiver, and Ray couldn't bring it in. Defended on the play by Ricardo Jones. He's making his first start last week for the Clemson Tigers. Makes a big play here on 3rd down.
Ra Thomas, usually that X receiver, meaning towards the short side of the field on the outside. They've been lining him up in the slot. They must like that matchup on the safety. Ra Thomas's bigger body, obviously right there. A little bit inaccurate of a pass. Maybe the elements getting involved as well.
Scott Taylor Renfro from 27. Check at 37. And he nails it. Troy adds to their advantage. Surprising 10-0 lead here in Clemson. Dabo continues to pace after a lengthy weather delay. We're at the 12:38 mark here in this first half, and this Tigers are down 10-0, and he's still trying to keep the upbeat sideline going with this club, as they've heard all week how disappointing the offense was, especially last week in that 17-10 loss to LSU right here on this field, and they've yet to put points on the board this afternoon.
Yeah, the time for yelling and screaming has passed him. Now there is an anxiety and a tension of let's just relax, let's just breathe. We've done this before, and let's trust our signal caller.
Which is Cade Klubnik, and I mentioned in the open, he came into this season with the number 2 highest odds to win the Heisman Trophy. He and Nussmeier, who was the opposing quarterback last week, were tied at 2 behind Arch Manning for the odds makers, for whatever that's worth.
And they were pushing him to just reset faster, right? They thought that some of the missed opportunities and mistakes early on in the LSU game in the first quarter showed its head in the third quarter because he was hanging on to those missed opportunities, maybe trying to do too much. Right here is an opportunity for him to set the reset button.
Fakes it to the tailback, has time, but flagged down and couldn't connect with his receiver, Wesco. Let's check the marker in the backfield. Clemson's going to move back.
Holding. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Call's going to go against Braden Jacobs.
Braden Jacobs, true freshman offensive lineman, coming into this game. They didn't think they were going to be down 10-0, but they wanted to rotate offensive linemen. Braden Jacobs is one of those guys, backup left tackle, a rotation at guard as well. They feel like they have 7 starting caliber offensive linemen.
Receiver wide open. That's Tyler Brown, and he has room to operate. Still on his feet, down to the 39. Big gain for the first down.
We've seen a few of these from Troy today. Clemson fans are like, all right, about time we get one of these. Very easy, first progression, get the ball to Tyler Brown and take advantage of your athletes.
And they wanted to move quickly, but we've got all kinds of laundry.
False start. Offense number 50. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Time Colin Sadler was guilty of jumping.
And we're picking up some of that audio of guys being frustrated. Yep. That's always the risk. It sounds good when you say let's rotate offensive linemen and get new guys involved, but anytime that's a cohesive group of 5. There's a reason a lot of coaches don't want to mess with that. That is the downside of when a new face gets in there. Do they get a little jittery?
Randall trying to pick a spot. Gets maybe 3. Janelle Filzami on the tackle. I've been coming to this stadium for years. I've never heard it this quiet, ever. Klubnik, now the pocket collapses and he gets dropped. And the crowd replaces the silence with boos. A few boo birds being rained down.
This is Jamal Williams one-on-one versus the true freshman left tackle, Braden Jacobs, inside pass rush move. And the transfer from Cincy comes up with the sack. You could tell they like their edge rushers, at least from a Sun Belt perspective. Obviously different task coming in today, but they needed a big game out of both Jamal Williams, 0 on one side, and Elijah Davis, 11 on the other.
Randall's going to have to make it happen on his own, and he won't even come close. Dante Wright pleased with his defense. The fans here at Death Valley audibly displeased.
Troy felt like they played sluggish last week on defense. Poor angles, poor tackling. I mean, some of that's to be expected week 1, but there was very much a sense of urgency with Dante Wright this week that's coming through so far through one quarter.
Smith puts a toe into it. That's a good kick. Catch made by Trey Taylor as he steps out of bounds. 43 yards on the kick, 0 on the return. And again, the crowd here at Death Valley showing their displeasure, down 10. To move the football, but they've taken advantage of field position.
And the weather delay was a huge disadvantage for Troy. They had all the momentum after 2 great drives, one offensively and one defensively. So credit this team for not losing that momentum, sparking it back up after the weather delay, and they haven't missed a beat so far through one quarter.
Clemson brings pressure. Crowder gets rid of it to Ra. Jade Lucas did a nice job of getting out there defensively to limit him to a 3-yard gain.
They said they're going to have to do everything possible creatively to get easy passes and easy runs right there. This is a left tackle at receiver blocking for Ra Thomas. They're trying to find whatever they can to get a matchup advantage right there. Splitting out Prather, Elijah Prather started at left tackle, then lines up at receiver. He's on the line of scrimmage, so he's able to do that.
Dortch in motion, now back to the bottom. Crowder rolls this way. Just going to throw this one away, had nobody open.
So that's the same concept they've had a lot of success with on so far today, the rollout and then trying to get that corner route flattened off. Wouldn't surprise me if Troy has some sort of double move off of that. Whether you're rolling out, you do a corner and go. Right there you can see the Clemson's defense is like, all right, enough of this. We've seen this a few times so far today. If they have a wrinkle off of that, sometimes you see offensive coordinators roll right, then throw back left, get the defense going one direction. Got to be wary of these Clemson pass rushers on 3rd and 7.
Tigers showing pressure. They back out of it, bring just 4. Crowder has a receiver open, makes the catch at the 45. It's Mojo Dortch.
You're not even attempting this throw unless you're playing with a lot of confidence at the quarterback position. It's called a hole shot. You got a safety over the top, a defender underneath. There's a window right there where you got to throw this on a line, showcasing the arm strength. You can see that football piercing through the elements. That is great execution by Goose Crowder.
And if you're Mojo Dortch, man, you better have a lot of mojo, knowing that 6 in orange, Ricardo Jones is closing fast.
Exactly. You got to hold on to that thing. Then you can get up and get the mojo celebration.
First down. Goose again to throw. Steps up. He has room to run, and he's going to run with a blocker in front of him. Give him about 6. He'll mark it off at 7. Well, now they come back and make it 6 yards. Still a good gain on first down for Troy.
Very much a part of his game. Troy fans are getting nervous every time he runs the ball because he does have a concussion history, but they're going to pick his spots. They're going to trust in their veteran signal caller. Said he's the unquestioned leader of this team. His head coach, Jared Parker, has a lot of belief in him.
Midway through this second quarter, Troy's advanced the ball into Clemson territory. Pressure up the middle. Not much that Tay Meadows can do. Had a helmet fly off on the play. Connor Manglo, baby, offensive lineman. He'll have to come out.
This is a big third down, too. You might think, depending on how much confidence you have in your backup right tackle, if you gave a timeout, that would allow your right tackle to come back in. This is a critical third down, 3rd and 4 midfield. The past couple times they've had this scenario, they've targeted Ra Thomas, number 7, and Ethan Connor, their tight end, split out.
Pressure up the middle. Oh, he had his receiver, but threw it behind him. The pressure forced him to throw it behind Trey Taylor. And he'll bring up 4th down.
You said it. He had Trey Taylor on a little return route. Phenomenal pass protection by the running back, Jordan Lovett. He sticks his head right in there. Keeps the pocket within there. You see big Peter Woods. We haven't seen his name yet. One of the best defensive linemen, number 11. Goes unblocked, but a little uncertain in terms of whether or not to rush the passer. Clemson's fortunate that throw got away from Goose.
Crenshaw will punt it away. That's a good kick. Wesco going to make the fair catch at his own 7. And at the 7:05 mark, Clemson once again will come out on offense. They've been shut out so far today. See their first 4 drives of the day, and really there's nothing to write home about in any of those 4 drives.
And it's really that third drive. They started getting some momentum. They're moving the ball. They're in the red zone, and then that big fumble caused by Luke Hodge, the linebacker for Troy. But Clemson, Dabo, and his offensive coordinator Garrett Riley looking for answers.
David Nziamume is in a tailback. Klubnik to throw a ball batted high in the air, and it's intercepted, and a touchdown for Troy. Unbelievable. TJ Thompson picks it and rolls into the end zone.
What a play. They got Cade Klubnik backed up against his end zone. And guess what? Luke Hodge, once again, we've been calling his name all day. The backup linebacker gets his hands up, ball's in the air. TJ Thompson, the will linebacker, comes down with it. It's one thing to have a turnover in the middle of the field. To get that and score on it as well. What a huge play for Troy.
Renfro's try is wide right. And a Bronx cheer from the Clemson fans that something actually went their way here this afternoon.
It's so quiet in here when I'm giving that touchdown call. I got Clemson fans looking back at us in the booth being like, why are you getting so excited for this? But this is a big-time play by Troy. Again, Luke Hodge jumps up, gets his hands up. That's always the risk in quick game a little bit. And how big is it you don't even have your offense get on the field? He's trying to get it on a little quick out route to Jordan Sapp, the backup tight end. But it just bang, bang play. It's a great job, Luke Hodge, knowing what they're trying to do.
Fans that have made their way, it's not really a very long drive from Alabama here upstate, are loving what they've seen so far today despite the rain.
You see on the bottom 3 and 30 versus top 25 all time. Last one came 2017 versus LSU at Orgeron squad. They won at that Death Valley. This is a different beast though. That LSU squad was ranked, I believe, 20th in the country. Definitely not 8th with all the hype that Clemson has.
Randall wants to give it a try. And he's glad that he did, out to the 30. Folks, tonight after Vandy, Virginia Tech, the ACC Huddle final score crew is going to wrap up the whole day. I'm sure they're going to have plenty to talk about in this game right here. They got highlights, analysis, interviews with players and coaches. Got you all covered. It's on the ACC Network. It's also on that all-new ESPN app. A lot of games delayed earlier in the day. I saw Georgia Tech and Wake Forest, both after their games were delayed. They're not having the same issues that Clemson is having after this delay.
And the problem is, if you're Garrett Riley, Clemson's play caller, offensive coordinator, is you're trying to get your quarterback in rhythm, trying to get him easy throws, and that sounds great. You want to do that, get your star player involved. But then also, the run game is still not shown up. Didn't show up in the LSU game, hasn't shown up here. So far today, they've been 55% pass.
Trying it on the ground with Wesco. He gets 4. That's what we expected to see from Troy today, trying to get all these receivers and everybody else involved to somehow get the running game going. And it's Clemson who's somehow trying to get the running game going by using Wesco.
And tempo here.
Klubnik pumps, nobody's open, now goes to the sideline, through the receiver's hands and incomplete. That was Easy Umume. There were 2 receivers down there. The tight end, Bettenker, was also in the area, which is never a great sign.
The mindset for Troy is just keep everything in front of you. Played good ball so far through a quarter and a half. But for Cade Klubnik, he took his eyes to the left there. That wasn't open. Always dangerous going back to the far right side on a quick pass game concept. Almost feels like his legs need to get involved in this game. Have him get hit. Have him get immersed in this football game.
Clemson 1 for 6 on 3rd down. That time Wesco squeezes it and he's loose. Inside the 35, down to the 25 before finally being brought down by Jordan Stringer. Let's see if that gets Klubnik going.
Seeing some of the arm strength here. Far right hash, drives the ball. It's a nice throw right there. Then the corner falls down for Troy.
Whistles, timeout by Troy as Clemson wanted to move quickly.
Troy, they're second at the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Looks like head coach Jared Parker is yelling, "Don't flinch."
No flinch.
To his team. They've stood toe-to-toe and then some against the 8th-ranked team in the country on their own home turf so far.
And Troy knows they've had all the momentum in this first half. If they can hold Clemson scoreless or just a field goal and take advantage of the fast start they've had, how luxurious that would be. It just feels like it's only a matter of time before Clemson wakes up.
Klubnik to throw. Has time. Behind his receiver, Brown had to go back and get it. Flags all over the place. Brown took a big hit. Wes White was the one who delivered it. White telling Brown no hard feelings. That was one of those where you could just see Brown's body twisted in an unnatural way.
Personal foul, targeting defense number 8. The play is under further review.
And this was not a malicious hit at all. It was a bang-bang football play. Jaquez White, that's their best cover guy. That would be a significant loss if he has to leave this game. This was just a drag route working right to left by Tyler Brown. I thought Cade Klubnik was late on this throw. You can see Brown, he's open. Ball comes a little late behind him.
That's pretty obvious. You could say that Brown ducked his head, but White led with his head the whole way.
He knew it too right then. Didn't have to either. Didn't have to. Brown's pretty much on the ground here. Could have led with the shoulder.
After further review, targeting is upheld. Number 8 is disqualified. The penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
And you can see White is having to be consoled by the assistant coaches over there. Incredibly disappointing that he has to exit this game. He's played so well so far. That's a break for Clemson.
Keep an eye on that too, that matchup going forward too. White, like we said, that's their best cover corner. And those are hard to come by, and you need them facing this receiver group for Clemson. So Shamar Welch, Trent Henry, they'll be next man up for Troy. Well, what a break it's been for Clemson. You get the targeting there. The pass play before that, the corner slipped down. Can they take advantage?
Empty backfield for Klubnik. Fresh set of downs at the 14. Randall. Down to the 6. Donnie Smith, quiz kid Donnie Smith on the tackle.
It's pretty much just a toss sweep. You have 4 receivers out there to one side, one of which is Adam Randall. Just get Randall the ball on the short side of the field, and you got 3 blockers in front of him if you're Garrett Riley.
Klubnik, design quarterback draw, doesn't get much. Don't even think he got anything. Fulzami on the tackle.
Interior of that defensive line for Troy has been active. They certainly have not got pushed around today. I said it a couple plays ago, but trying to get Cade Klubnik's legs involved. Sometimes as a quarterback, when you're thinking and processing so much, Cade's the type of guy that he plays his best when he's just reacting. The combination of both what he can do in the pocket from a throwing standpoint and his legs is what makes him great. Haven't seen much of his legs today.
Throwing it to the outside and into the end zone goes Tristan Smith. Tigers finally on the board.
The rare transfer in the Dabo Swinney era, Tristan Smith from Southeast Missouri State, big body guy getting his catch. Tyler Brown injured earlier on. He's taking advantage of his moment. That's an easy touchdown.
And they're reviewing this score. My guess is that it's whether Smith's knee was down when he first made the catch, because he rolled into the end zone almost virtually unopposed.
Yeah, in real time, it looked like that knee might have been down. Yep.
Right at the 9-yard line or the 8.5. This will be a good shot at it as well. That's the catch.
To me, that's
knee looks like it's down right there at the 9. We'll spot the ball at about the 8.5.
I think you would like your receiver to stay up, but again, not the most accurate throw. If you're Cade Klubnik, have to wonder if maybe the elements are coming into play, but that's a short throw. Put that on his chest, allow your receiver to do something with it.
Yeah, that knee's down.
After further review, the receiver's knee was down. The ball will be placed at the 8-yard line, and it will be 4th down.
And there's no hesitation from Dabo, who sent in Hoosier to kick the field goal.
And those are the types of plays when you're Clemson, it just feels like nothing can go your way, right? You probably could have caught that without having your knee on the ground. Cade probably makes that throw on his chest 9 out of 10 times, but you get this negative snowball effect and just need a big play to get out of it.
26, and it's good. Fireworks go off for the first time since the Tigers ran down the hill about 3 hours ago. They were able to at least put some points on the board. Even though disappointing that they weren't able to get into the end zone. Kendra down on the field. What do you got for us, Kendra?
Well, guys, I've been keeping a look out on the Tigers' sideline just to see how the mood is. But I tell you, when they watched that replay as well, it was the Troy Trojan fan club over here that went wild. I mean, you could hear the families and the friends that have all come in to support Troy just yelling and screaming because they knew that that was not going to be a touchdown from Clemson. So just to look out, don't forget, that's a small group, but they are mighty and loud, guys.
Yeah, as we pull back from the visitors section here in Death Valley.
You got that little nook.
They got that nook in the corner.
They're glad they came. Their boys are showing out so far. It's a great stop by Troy, though. Jared Parker said, don't flinch to his squad, and they found a way to only give up 3.
Gunn boots it away from the back of the end zone. Women's sports takes over the afternoon every Sunday in the ACC network, and we're going to start this Sunday at noon with field hockey. Number 1 Northwestern squares off against number 8 BC. Suzanne Bush on the call. She's the Keith Jackson of field hockey, by the way, if you aren't aware of that. Then third-ranked Duke is going to host Alabama in soccer, so field hockey and soccer Sunday on the ACC network.
The Keith Jackson of field hockey.
Legendary.
Love that reference.
I think you will enjoy that matchup with the number 1 team in the country. Tay Meadows now at tailback for Troy as they start this drive. This is an interesting inflective moment in this game as well at 4:11. Clemson get 3 and out here and get the ball back to their offense. This won't help though as Meadows finds some room to run and gets it into Clemson territory. Ronan Hannafin had to make the stop, but 28 yards downfield.
This is great job by the offensive line. Wade Wood as he blitzes in the A gap right over the guard in the center. They don't flinch. They pick it up. They create a big crease for Tay Meadows, and we haven't said his name much today. Troy's been 73% pass on their play selection. Been very selective when they do run the rock, but plays like that keep Dabo Sweeney honest.
It's Troy's 4th venture into Clemson territory this afternoon. Meadows again, bouncing it outside. That's a good pickup of just about 3 yards on first down.
We were talking with the staff this week. They said, what's the next step for Tay Meadows? It's trusting what your eyes are giving you. Right there, that's great vision. That play is supposed to lead towards the right side. He sees the crease to the left side, puts his foot in the dirt, cuts it up, and gets a nice gain.
They got a transfer from Georgia Tech and Trey Cooley. They thought he was going to be their top tailback. He was injured late in camp. And so Tay Meadows, who had 186 yards rushing in week 1, right back at it here in week 2. Meadows, patient. Nowhere to go this time, though. Dropped right in his tracks. Kendra, what's going on?
Well, guys, junior running back Tay Meadows is embracing that next man up mentality. Meadows came in as a preferred walk-on, and he's been steadily chipping away, waiting for his opportunity. He told me that Trey Cooley has been a big role model, reminding him, you've been waiting 3 to 4 years for this. Now it's your time to step up and show what you can do.
Yeah, Trey Cooley was, started his career at Louisville, transferred to Georgia Tech. Coaching staff said he was bringing us that true power for mentality in the tailback spot. Got hurt, though, and now love it. And Meadows, we've seen both of these tailbacks today for Troy having fantastic games.
Yeah, and got hurt during game week last week, Trey Cooley, that is. So they were all fall camp expecting it to be 1A, 1B with Cooley and Meadows. But then now Meadows has to carry the load. Was a top 5 rusher in college football coming in. It was only 1 week, but had 186 yards last week. So they leaned on him last week. Different identity offensive-wise for Troy today. Again, because they know this defensive line for Clemson is stout, not going to be able to run on them like they did last week.
3rd down and 7 coming out of the Clemson timeout. Keeping it on the ground with Meadows, and he's got a 1st down. Winwood has made the stop, but Troy moves the sticks again.
This Troy offensive line getting it done. You can see big Elijah Prather, 58, getting to the 2nd level. Again, they got a true freshman center. Paul Bolin leading the boys up front. Eli Russ, you're seeing the C on his chest. 66, the left guard, having some success running the ball to the left-hand sideline.
That play will bring us down to the 2-minute timeout. Troy shocking Clemson here in Death Valley and on the move again. I love that. Coach Fran Brown in Syracuse, even after the dub, he wasn't happy with the performance.
You could have told me before that. There's one team in the country when we win sprints after a game. I probably could have guessed Fran Brown's
No question
squad.
about it. Here again on the ground, Troy finding some success, pushing a pile down to the 25. Sammy Brown making the tackle. That's 9 yards downfield. Troy's getting the push right now late in the first half.
If you're Troy, obviously you have the mindset that you want to score, but not only putting points on the board, but if you don't give Clemson another possession, that'd be a big factor here as well. Credit the ground game. This is really the first drive of the ground game's pop for Troy, but it's a byproduct of the passing attack being efficient through first 2 quarters.
Second down and 1. Take a chance here with Goose. Just going to run forward to get the 1st down. Keep that clock rolling.
Troy picks up the 1st down.
Now flags come out. This could be a really costly penalty here as Troy's in field goal range right now. Well after the final whistle.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 77, his 1st of the game, 15-yard penalty, the down count, 3rd down.
Garner Langlow.
Correction, it's 1st down.
You're going to get him on after the play, big 77 on the right side of your frame there. Let's see what he does. Trying to protect his quarterback.
Must have been what he said.
There's nothing there.
Wasn't what he did.
Keep in mind, Troy's up this game 16-3. They've had 2 bang-bang targeting calls, and they've had 2 unsportsmanlike personal fouls. So they're giving up penalty yardage in addition to, the talent deficiency that they have on paper.
It was after the 1st down was gained, so it's 1st and 10 to 15 yards back. Dortch. Can he get to the corner? Cannot. Defended well by Ronan Hannafin to prevent a big play. Just a gain of 3.
Good call. And keep in mind, Khalil Barnes, their star safety is out with a hamstring injury, so Hannafin's had to step up into that role. Wasn't necessarily expecting to start last week, at least when training camp started, but they're going to rely on number 5. It's good recognition there.
Troy has the one timeout still on the board. 47 seconds in this first half. Facing a 2nd down and 7. Love it. Cuts it back inside, stays on his feet after the initial hit. But Wade Woodaz was able to bring him down, and he picks up just 2, maybe 3.
I think they call that to force Clemson, at least I thought, to use their timeout. Clemson's going to have a little bit of gamesmanship here, and Dabo is not going to take the timeout. He's going to force Troy to be out of order a little bit. Hurry up offense on a 3rd down.
It would be a 50-yard field goal from here. Scott Taylor Renfro, that would tie his career high.
And man, Troy's taking a lot of time. This is a great job by Dabo Sweeney. He caught this Troy offense off guard. They thought he was going to take the timeout.
They just got to take their timeout right now.
Charge timeout. Troy, their 3rd and final of the half.
That's a great
30 seconds.
That is a great job by Dabo Sweeney. Troy lost probably 30 seconds on that play. You could tell they thought he was going to take that timeout. If they knew that Dabo was not going to take the timeout, Troy probably would have taken their timeout 25 seconds ago. So now you're not forced with a Hail Mary situation. It's great coaching by Sweeney.
Why don't you just take the timeout immediately once Dabo doesn't immediately take the timeout? Because then it becomes apparent that he's going to let that clock wind down. You take your timeout. You still have 25 to 30 seconds to run your field goal unit out there. That's plenty of time.
I agree. And if you take that timeout, you still could have ran 2 offensive plays, or at least a 3rd down pickup, try to get it, and then kick it down the road.
Now it's 51. This will be a career high. And Patty McAteer, the kickoff man, is in to try this long distance kick. 51 yards. Good hold, good spot. The kick is away. Just pushes it wide. Had the distance, but McAteer just pushed it a little bit wide to the right. And that ends the half.
That is the end.
16-3, our halftime score. I'm sure Justin and Coach Claus. McAteer boots it deep and out of the back of the end zone. Kendra Douglas down on the field.
Well, I caught up with head coach Dabo Sweeney, and he said, these guys, they got to play better. 1 possession at a time. That was the message going into the locker room. He said Troy is battling out here. They got to give him credit for that. But he does not like the fact that his team has scored all those 2 touchdowns. As far as Troy, though, head coach Parker said, I like what we're doing. He said, I want to see us continue to do exactly what we did in the first half. He said Goose Crowder is playing brave, except he doesn't want to see those 2 penalties that they saw in the first half, and that's what they want to clean up, guys. But he likes what he sees going on, guys.
Yeah, why not? Up 16-3. Those penalties, big penalties, including one that moved him out of field goal range at the end of that first half. Man, it was a good run on first down. This is a Clemson team that now 6 quarters into the season, before that run, had 48 total yards rushing through last week's game against LSU in the first half today.
And it's 4 straight quarters of not having scored a touchdown. And keep in mind, this was going into the year arguably the best quarterback in college football and the best wideout crew as well.
And now they are trying to exert their dominance running the football. Randall into Troy territory, ankle tackled inside the 30. David Cisvana with the tackle, but 45 yards for Randall. They finally got Adam Randall loose.
Only had 17 rushing yards in the first half. He's got about double that right there. The converted receiver, they wanted to make it a point to get him going early on in this game. It took until the second half to make it happen.
The ruling on the field is the runner stepped out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Correction, 38-yard line.
They'll move the ball back, so 36 yards on the run for Randall. Gideon Davidson comes in to spell him.
Yeah, as much as you want, Cade to get going, these receivers to get going, your advantage right away is up front with this offensive line and the running back.
Davidson met at the line of scrimmage, tried to bounce it outside. Doesn't even get back to that line of scrimmage. They'll drop him for a loss.
Be interesting to see how Garrett Riley does handle the pass game, though. Keep in mind, Jaquez White, Troy's best corner, out of this game for the targeting penalty. When they do have to throw, do they target one of these reserve corners? Number 12, Trent Henry, on the bottom of your screen.
Davidson stays in the game. Klubnik's left. Brown in motion. Klubnik over the middle. Yeah, that's a flag. Defender got there just a beat too soon. Jordan Stringer. It's got hand on heads, but I think the replay will confirm it.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
Call's going to go against Kalina Levine.
And this is another bang-bang penalty. Credit Stringer for breaking on the football. Cade's hanging onto the football, comes down, then back up. It's one of those things, if he didn't run through the receiver and made more of a play on the ball, I don't think that's pass interference.
Randall. Still pushing forward, banging off defenders down to the 24. Ten more for Randall.
Now the big boys are warming up, running behind Walker Parks, Blake Miller, getting Adam Randall, 235 pounds, going.
They'll move Randall out. Klubnik has all kinds of time, but it might be because there was an infraction. Now he'll run. There's a flag downfield as well. Klubnik's still on his feet. Brought down at the 9, but let's check all the laundry. Two separate flags, one in the backfield, one downfield. As much as those flags have been on this dirty track today, I'm surprised they're still bright yellow.
There are fouls by each team. Holding. Offense number 50. Holding. Defense number 14. The foul's offset. Repeat first down.
That's another break for Clemson on the fouls, because I don't think the defensive holding happens without the offensive line holding by Colin Sadler, because Cade broke the pocket. Then the defensive back, Trent Henry, feels the need to hold. Again, these penalties have very much favored Clemson today. That's that reserve corner that we talked about. Getting elevated action.
Adam Randall with 47 yards rushing on this drive alone. Now Davidson's in the game. Wesco. Good pickup on first down, give him 7.
And now Clemson's going to go hurry up, try to take advantage of this momentum. It's been hard to spark so far this game.
Davidson following his blocker, still on his feet. Hammered at the 12, they'll move the sticks. David Daniels-Sifana again.
You see Clemson start to wear on him. The fans are starting to stand up. They can sense the momentum that they have, and that's going to be something to keep your eye on the next 2 quarters. You know, this Clemson's physicality, so they're able to wear down this Troy defense.
Direct snap to Randall. Powering his way to the goal line, down to the 1.
This is a cool design, direct snap. No need to waste time. Let's get the ball in number 8's hands right away. Get him going downhill. It's a hard man to tackle.
Randall, touchdown.
That's the drive we thought we were going to see to start the game. Thought we were going to see after the delay. Instead, we get it in the second half. Dabo Swinney hugging Adam Randall. They wanted to make him a featured part of this offense. Got away from him last week in the second half versus LSU. Not in the second half versus Troy.
Hoosier converts the try. flags all over the place after the try. Let's check the marker. Tim Hedgesmith, our referee, is going to need a lozenge.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 11, his first of the game. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The try is good.
That is the fifth 15-yard penalty against Troy today. That's killing them and their chances in this game. Still up by 6. But the momentum on the side of the Clemson Tigers. That drive was all about attitude and Adam Randall. Tigers still trail by 6. 15-10 Troy with the lead here on the road in a game that was delayed by about an hour and a half by weather.
Clemson's going to try to steal possession here. A little onside kick, taking advantage of the personal foul for Troy.
Yeah, they moved it up to the 50-yard line. Robert Gunn's going to kick it. He's just going to send it into a dead area. Fair catch called for, so they take advantage of that penalty and move Troy way back to start this drive.
The ruling on the field is number 1, gave a signal. The ball is placed at the spot of the recovery, first down.
Coming up tonight at 7:30, Vandy taking on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg. See it not only on the ACC network, but on the ESPN app. Enter Sandman, Lane Stadium at night. That is something to behold, so check it out.
It's going to be fun watching that defense going up against Diego Pavia. That Vanderbilt offense is a different beast in terms of the triple option type of identity that they have. It's a good front seven for Virginia Tech. Interested to see if Kyron Drones, Virginia Tech's quarterback, can respond.
Speaking of which, how does Troy respond here after Clemson took the ball and marched right down the field to score to start this second half? They want to run it out of trouble, but Tay Meadows has nowhere to go. Peter Woods swallows him up.
And the energy in Death Valley is completely different than where it was 30 minutes ago. Peter Woods, we haven't really said his name today. Their best defensive player up front. You got an NFL future, a really athletic defensive tackle. You're not going to have a lot of success running straight at that man. Troy had a lot of success with the quick passing game. It gets dicey when you're backed up in your own end zone, but can they get back to some of those concepts?
Mojo in motion now to the bottom of your screen. Pressure up the middle. Picked up initially. Crowder's going one-on-one to the corner, and it's incomplete. No, now it's intercepted, they say, off the deflection. Ricardo Jones is able to pick it off the deflection, and it's Clemson ball.
Ricardo Jones with the INT, but Ashton Hampton, the corner next to him, that's great coverage. Oftentimes when the offense is backed up, you'll see the defense pack the box, go man coverage on the outside. That's what you're getting here. Ashton Hampton, a little double move. His eyes are on the quarterback the entire way. The ball hits on his butt, and look what I found. Ricardo Jones with the INT.
Hampton with the assist off his tuchus.
That's why you do those squats, baby.
Stays alive, and Jones with the INT. Clemson's in real business here. Look to strike quickly or continue with Randall. Play fake to him. Receiver wide open. Let's go. Touchdown.
I love the play call by Garrett Riley. Fresh off a turnover, great opportunity to call a shot down the field. They faked the run after a drive in which they were wearing Troy down with the run. They slipped Bryant Wesco downfield, and really the first big pass play for Cade Klubnik in this game.
Hoosier splits the uprights. Clemson with their first lead of the afternoon.
The interception started it. The butt pick. INT Ricardo Jones said, look what I found, and the touchdown to Bryant Wesco Jr. Cade Klubnik is feeling good in this second half.
In 4 minutes and 53 seconds, Clemson 10 plays, 97 yards. Troy 2 plays, 0 yards, and the INT. He said it at the start of the last Troy drive. Well, it bears repeating even more so now. How will they respond after being shell-shocked for 14 quick points at the start of this second half?
Yeah, to me, you got to get Ethan Connor, number 14, their tight end, involved. Then Ra Thomas, number 7. They had some success with different concepts featuring those guys. Those are the 2 playmakers you got to get involved. You're not going to be able to hand the ball off to Trey Meadows and just, run the ball all the way down the field on Clemson. They got the energy right now, but can you take some of this pressure off your defense, get a couple first downs? How does Troy respond?
Goose, incomplete. That's Ethan Connor, and Ethan Connor was making all the plays in the first half. Drops this one.
And you can tell they're on the same page as me. I mean, that's a tight end on a little bubble screen right there. Don't see many tight ends in college football doing that. But they're doing whatever they can to try to get different angles and leverages. In the first half, those were catches they were making and blocks they were making as well. Hasn't been the case so far in this third quarter.
And now the crowd is into it. Movement, and they'll blow it dead. Eighth penalty against Troy today for 87 yards.
Compared to only Clemson, 3 for 30. If you're going to have any hope of winning this game, that stat needs to be flipped. On the road in an atmosphere like this, can't give them any free ones. 3rd and long. If you're Goose Crowder, got to protect the football. See if you can get half back.
Glove it in motion out of the backfield. Protection is there over the middle. That's pretty much what he did. Got a big chunk of it back. Ronan Hannafin on the tackle. Pickup of 10, so it opens up the entire playbook here on 3rd and 5.
Goose Crowder's done a good job getting the ball out of his hands. Clemson really only has 1 sack that came in the second quarter. That was a major concern if you were Troy heading into this game. If Troy's going to stay into this game, it's going to be on the right arm of Goose Crowder. Find your matchup. Disguise what Clemson's doing. They want to be a man-to-man team. Pick your favorite matchup and see if you can get a win on the outside.
Pressure on the edge. It's picked up behind his receiver and intercepted. Hannafin inside the 30. How about these safeties, back-to-back interceptions?
They're picking up the slack for their offense. So look what I found. Goose Crowder just behind his receiver, DJ Epps. And that could have gone too. If that's on that front shoulder pad, that could have been a 25, 30-yard gain. Instead, it's behind his receiver. Ronan Hannafin starting safety with Khalil Barnes down. And both these safeties coming up with huge plays for the Tigers.
Randall back in a tailback, but split. Wesco. Great job closing on the play to drop Wesco for a loss. Devin Lafayette picked up a couple.
Great job recognizing, too, what Clemson's offense is going there by Lafayette. Cade Klubnik was one in one direction, Wesco the other. He triggers quick and makes a tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Klubnik looks to the sideline and changes it up. Strong throw to Wesco, first down.
Accurate throw and on time, too. That's what really sticks out to me with Cade Klubnik. That's an out route to the wide side of the field. He's thrown that before his receiver gets out of his break. You can tell it's a totally different second half for Klubnik in this offense.
Klubnik keeps it. Trying to get to the edge, can't do it. Another great play by Lafayette. And he comes downhill to find that ball carrier.
And it's the instincts, too. I mean, he's playing center field out there, so he's got to manage the running back and then sees Klubnik pull the ball and then the closing speed as well. Klubnik's got a sturdy lower body. He's coming up with making tackles. We said going into this game, Devin Lafayette was their best defensive player. He's had some big-time tackles.
No gain on the play. Randall now behind Klubnik. And he'll get it. Met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Elijah Davis working his way in.
You're seeing Dante Wright right there, their defensive coordinator. He loves Elijah Davis. Defensive end, feels like he can make an impact for this defense. Those are their two-star players. Devin Lafayette, Elijah Davis, 11. Luke Hodges had a good day.
Davis, former Gamecock, transferred to Troy from South Carolina. Third down and 13. Klubnik to throw. Pumps, still has time, now works his way out of the pocket. He's going to have to do it on his own. And rolls out of bounds, won't get anywhere close to the first down. That'll bring in Hoosier and company to try and add the lead.
They were running the ball so well and got 1 second down run play. Don't get the right blocking scheme. Davis in the backfield and you lost momentum on that drive if you're Garrett Riley.
Dabo's son Clay Sweeney will put the ball down at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 30-yard attempt for Nolan Hoosier. Holden Casperson with the perfect snap. Clay Sweeney with the perfect hold. And Nolan Hoosier adds 3 points to Clemson's 20-16 lead here in the third. Ten points off of 2 Troy turnovers in this second half has enabled Clemson to extend their lead to 20-16. They were losing 16-3 at the break. Now this Troy team that had such high hopes, and as you said so adeptly at the break, Max, they had hope, still have the hope, but they've got to right the ship here real quickly because as we've seen with Clemson's offense and the way their defense is turning them over, this thing could get out of hand in a hurry. The all-new ACC PM, Monday through Thursday from 6 to 7, and then Friday's special 2-hour football-focused edition from 5 to 7, hosted by Kelsey Riggs Cup right here on the ACC Network, and of course streaming live on the new ESPN app. Check that out. And I will say it for the third time in as many drives. How do they respond? I think the response has not been good in the last 2 drives.
Yeah, they got to reset mentally. I mean, it can't be, oh, we blew a big lead. It's got to be, hey, before the game, if you said midway through the third quarter we'd only be down 4, they would take that in a heartbeat. Be on the offensive, not down that you gave up a lead.
Meadows trying to bounce outside, just doesn't have the quickness to get away from the Clemson defense. Jeremiah Alexander closing the gap, no gain.
One of the reserve linebackers for Clemson. That backup linebacker unit will be big for Clemson as they move into October and November and hopefully championship aspirations. They know what they have with Sammy Brown and Wade Woodaz, but the guys behind them, Kobe McLeod, Dee Creighton, Jeremiah Alexander, Jamal Anderson, that group could give them much needed depth.
Again, nothing. Absolutely nothing in the middle of that Clemson defense. Peter Woods, Kate Denoff involved. 3rd and long coming up.
Really starting to feel the impact of number 11 right there in the middle, Peter Woods. Talked about it in the first half. On one side of Peter Woods, across from him is a true freshman, Paul Bowling. Clemson's got to think that's a big matchup. And Eli Russ at left guard too. The Troy offensive line, they've been battling. They've been hanging on. But as we get into this second half, Peter Woods is a lot to handle.
There's the true freshman Bowling at center. Again, tried it on the ground, and they'll come up just shy. Meadows picks up 9. Hannafin brought him down.
This is a great job of the left tackle, Elijah Prather, on the right hand of your screen. He's going to be battling against Wade Woodaz. That's a left tackle and a linebacker. You'd like that matchup. As Troy looks like they're going to go for it. Only get so many of these opportunities, only so many possessions left, as these fans are getting into it.
4th and 1 from their own 34. Crowder under center. He's going to try and get it on his own, and he does.
Man, that's a lot harder than it looks. You got a true freshman center on the road for the first time in Death Valley, trying to get that snap. You got an NFL first rounder bearing down right on you. You got to identify the fronts, and oh, by the way, it's wet. It's a great job by Paul Boland hanging in there and picking up that first down as the center leading the way for his quarterback.
Crowder to throw. Receiver falling down as he made his cut back was Mojo Dortch.
Those are the types of plays that they were on target in the first half. So far, they've had 2 drops. They had the bang-bang interception, but that's a one-on-one matchup. If you're Troy, you'd have to think you win. And then the misfire by Goose Crowder just behind his receiver on the other interception. Haven't been as efficient, haven't been as on target so far in this third quarter.
High snap. Meadows still on his feet. Tough run by Meadows. Gave him about 9 yards. Ronan Hannafin finally brought him down. He broke through a couple of tackles.
Yeah, it was one-on-one with the corner. I believe it was Avion Terrell to the boundary. It's a good job by Meadows making a miss. Been impressed with Meadows. Really haven't seen any of the, I got to see Jordan Lovett. But again, that's a thinner backfield for Troy than they thought a couple weeks ago. Again, I have to think it's 4-down territory. If that's the case, do you take a shot here on 3rd down?
Meadows falls forward. They'll move the chains.
Regardless, this is a good response by the Troy offense, giving their defense a time to catch their breath.
Jordan Lovett will come in. Spell Tay Meadows, former walk-on from Roanoke, Alabama. There's Lovett, number 1. He's gotten some good work today as well. Lovett trying to follow his blockers. There's nothing there. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. I appreciate it, Justin. Looking forward to seeing how that game wraps up in Lane Stadium. We still have a good one here. Troy is not going away. Crowder with the throw. But it's almost intercepted again. Hannafin had his hands on it. couldn't bring it in. That was into a whole lot of traffic, Max.
That was, and we said it in the first half, that route they've probably thrown 5 times today. The rollout right, corner route. If Troy has any sort of double move or get these safeties from not coming downhill, that was an absolute bunny that they missed by Ronan Hannafin. But again, those safeties they know what Troy wants to be. They know Troy wants to run these corner routes. Got to find a way to keep them on their heels.
10th play of this drive, 3rd and a long 9. Delay of game call goes against Troy.
Yeah, I don't know what Jared Parker's barking about. Look, he was barking at towards away from his quarterback, like a coach or something. Maybe it's a substitution issue on the sideline, not sure, but obviously a totally different situation. 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and 15. If they don't pick up yards here, he might have to punt it.
Crowder downfield, has his man, Rah-Rah with the first down.
Anytime you're getting 3rd and forever, quarterback's favorite route is a dig route. Why? Because it can bleed in behind the dropping linebackers and then in front of safeties getting super high. It's a good job by Goose Crowder hanging in the pocket, trusting his protection, which this Troy offensive line's hung in there. We really haven't talked much about the pass rush for Clemson.
3rd and 15, and they convert. Meadows moves the pile forward for a yard, maybe 2. Clemson player lost his helmet. Hit the shuffle. That's Kobe McLeod. He'll have to sit. Clock winding down, and Troy is content to continue to shorten this game as they've done such a great job doing through 3 quarters. The storm came early and gave us a delay, and then it came to start the second half. Can Troy weather the storm? He took a lead at the half, now the version. As we start the 4th quarter here in Death Valley, Max Brown, Kendra Douglas, Chris Cotter with you. Troy still believes. Crowder on the run, tripped up, but not after a big pickup on first down. They'll move the sticks. That's 10. Will Held finally brought him down, but Crowder continues to show that toughness.
Continues to show a nice balance of knowing when to hang in the pocket and give that play time to develop, and then when to tuck it down and pick up 6, 7, 8 yards. Going back to the backup quarterback, Tucker Kilcrease. Very much a run-oriented guy. We've seen 1 carry from him so far this game.
Straight up the middle. Bounces off a defender and Will Held, but Held hung on for no gain at all. That's the second time we've seen Kilcrease come in to no effect.
And it feels random, too. Like, you have your quarterback, Goose Crowder, in rhythm, having momentum, and it's a good drive. There must be something they like front-wise that they're trying to take advantage of. That obviously that's a tall task when you're going against this defensive line.
Now behind the stick, 2nd and 10.
Man coverage, top of screen.
Blitz picked up initially. Got it to Mojo. Gain of 5 on 2nd down. Ashton Hampton in coverage.
Clemson's going to sit in man coverage and force Goose Crowder to beat him with his arm. If that's the case, Rah-Rah Thomas at the big dig catch on the last 3rd down. Do they look his way again? He's the single receiver on the bottom of the screen.
Clemson brings a delayed blitz. Got it to Ra. No, check that. That's Dortch. But he's going to be shy of the first down. Only was able to pick up about a yard as Clemson closed on defense.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Ricardo Jones, recognizing what they're trying to do, teeing up a little receiver tunnel screen. He triggers right away and blows it up. He's had a nice second half, had the one interception, and can see his instincts right away.
Paddy McAteer again, the Irishman, this time from 40 yards. McAteer started playing Gaelic football in Ireland. It's a fake, and it blows up. Avion Terrell read it beautifully and foils it.
So there was something going on substitution-wise. Their coach, you can see on the top of the screen, is screaming, hooting and hollering. They must have not had a guy that should have been in the game. All out of whack. Left side of the line doesn't even move. They're trying to dial up a fake, but you could see the coach on the sideline, something was off. Clemson takes advantage, but not aligned there from Troy's perspective.
A 16-play drive ends with 0 points on the board for Troy. Randall running hard up the middle. Gets 5. Well, they've certainly got their run game going here in the second half. It was non-existent, as you can see in the first half. 17 yards running. Randall's been going off here. They've got 66 total in the second half, but offensively, just in general, too, there's much more rhythm, wouldn't you say, here in the second half, both passing the ball and running.
About 47 yards and all that really came on that Wesco touchdown.
Randall takes the pitch, gets just a couple. Big third down coming up.
We'll say, I mean, Troy, that was a 6.5-minute drive. Limit possessions. You took some of the momentum away from Clemson. Clemson's got to do the same thing Troy did, find a way to stay on the field.
Third down and 3. Klubnik keeps it himself, looking for a block. Now he throws it for the first down.
So they're hurrying up to the field. I think Clemson's trying to get a play off quickly because I thought that was illegal offensive lineman downfield. That felt like Miller was 4 yards down the field.
Brown on the receiving end, down to the 40. Stringer in coverage, that's 13 more.
I like that pace. Don't give the officials any second to discuss that play and keep this momentum alive.
I think Troy and their coaching staff felt exactly what you were saying. This pace was not to their liking. First time out called by Troy in this half. 20-16, Clemson with the lead and driving.
There's no momentum by way of 2 interceptions as well, but then the drive from Troy to end the second half had the third quarter disappear.
Klubnik has a man in the end zone and just overshoots Cole Turner. Maybe his fastest receiver, but he wasn't fast enough to run under that pass. Klubnik just missed him.
It's been the route concept of the day. Both teams roll out right, corner route. See at the back pylon and see what other concepts Garrett Riley has teed up. That's the type of play, too, that you connect with that. You're Cade Klubnik. You finally can exhale. You're like, all right, you've had the big play. Still searching for that, really.
Second down and 10 on this drive. Keep it on the ground. Randall chewing up yards.
One-on-one with Randall and Kalino Levine, one corner. Keep in mind, Jaquez White, the other starting corner, their best cover guy is out. If Clemson does take a shot, maybe they look towards the opposite of Levine's side.
Big old Elijah Thurman pulling in front of his tailback that time, providing the block. 3rd down and 3. Klubnik to throw. Going to the end zone. Wesco's got another one.
That's the Cade Klubnik Clemson fans know and love. This is an absolute dime. He gets pressure in his face. The ball's already in the air now. 10 yards before that. There was tons of air on it, but air so his receiver could run underneath it. That was right on the spot. That's the best throw I've seen from Cade Klubnik this season.
Boozer adds to it.
The home run shot. Deep post, down up his man, Bryant Wesco Jr. He's got pressure in his face, perfect spiral, drop it right in the breadbasket. Clemson strikes again.
Ohio State and Penn State just rolling today. As Clemson has here in the second half. An uneasy, even turning to frustrated fan base, I think, in the first half, but things have been much different here in the second.
They have, and a big reason why is the touchdown catch we just saw. Gonna have safeties down tight to the box. See, their safeties, both safeties are only 6 yards off the football. That is ding, 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 gotta go over the top. They're gonna play that low, gotta punish him, and then Cade Klubnik got pressure, but that's an absolute dime. That is why he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country.
Under pressure as well, being knocked to his backside right as he threw it. Goes for 6. Troy having a hard time even getting started on this drive.
False start. Offense number 14. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Can Goose Crowder lead him downfield once again? You think about their last drive. Long drive all the way down the field, and then a fake field goal goes awry, and they end up with nothing to show for it.
I can already tell you what the Monday thesis is going to be of Troy. Obviously, they're going to be proud of competing in this game, but man, the penalties have been their Achilles heel tonight.
Back up another 5 yards to start this drive. Good gain on first down and a whole lot more. Close to the 35. We got an injured Clemson player. That looks like Ricardo Jones on the far sideline. Jones with a pick earlier in this second half.
It's not the sight you want to see if you're a Clemson fan. Obviously, the injury's not good, but that's a safety position that is having to count on some new faces with Khalil Barnes down on one side.
Jones, first-year starter at Warner Robins, Georgia. Peach County High School. Central part of the state. So take a look at DJ Epps, who picked up 14 yards. To bring up a second down and short for Troy.
That safety room is going to be critical for Clemson. We're seeing Tom Allen, the new defensive coordinator. I talked about him that first drive. I haven't talked a lot about him since. His head coach called him a difference maker. I mean, it is so unique to go and get a defensive coordinator, have him come in and not bring a single assistant coach with him. It's a new defensive coordinator, but he's inheriting all the other position coaches around him. Very unique. Usually when a new defensive coordinator is hired, they're able to bring in their whole staff, but Dabo Swinney wanted a head coach for the defense. Tom Allen certainly has head coach experience being at Indiana. So far, so good through 2 weeks.
Goose just going to keep it. That offensive line continues to impress. Hitting the push in the first down.
They're hanging in there. A lot of experience on the front of that offensive line, but if Troy's going to come back in this ball game or get back in this ball game, they got to throw the rock. They're going to run it at a time if it's just 4 or 5 yard runs down the field.
Crowder on first down. Play action. Rolls out of the pocket. Gonna have to make a man miss. He can't do it. Still, he's able to pick up 5. Kendra Douglas down on the field.
You guys have been talking about this defense. Well, I caught up with defensive tackle Peter Woods, and we talked a little bit about what's motivated this defense. And he told me that since last season, when there was criticism on the defense that they heard that they weren't their best version, that fueled that group to play harder and become a defense that teams feared when they line up against them. He said that they were proud of how they compete against LSU, saying that's the identity they want to play with. But he also stressed it can't just be one game. They got to bring that same energy consistently week in and week out.
You're going to have to bring it here throughout the remainder of this one because this is a game Troy team, man. 7 yards in the first down. Crowder, there's no give up in this guy.
This is an excellent route, too. The top of his break, he snaps it down, feels like he's going vertical. Creates some space. This is nice separation. Look at this. Actually, he's going vertical. Stems the DB. That DB is all sorts of twisted around. Remember, you have Ricardo Jones down, so they're going to count on some new names out there. Shelton Lewis at the safety spot there.
There's probably some knowledge that Trey Taylor's the fastest player on this Troy team for 23.5 miles per hour when he gets going. Again, play action. Crowder looking downfield. Has a man open. That's that tight end again inside the 30 down to the 25. It's Ethan Connor.
It's a great play call. Play action, get the defense flowing to the offense's right. And you're going to see the tight end to far right, 14. Look, he's going to block, delay, and then pop out to the left-hand side. No one accounts for him. Well-timed play call there. Finding one of your playmakers, Ethan Connor. They've got a nice package for Ethan Connor in this ball game. Not always easy to feature a tight end, but they've got him touches in this game.
Tay tries the right side, gets a yard. DJ Parker stops him.
This is a nice drive by Troy, but it's still bleeding a lot of clock. If you're Jared Parker, you have to wonder if you're going to have the opportunity to get the ball back. Right now, he's worried about just getting a touchdown, but that clock becomes a real factor.
Staying with Tay Meadows in the backfield and Crowder under center. Stumbles, loses the football. Now he's going to have to eat it. TJ Parker with the pressure up the middle.
Looked like the exchange was okay. Looks like his foot got stepped on. Yep, his foot got stepped on by either right guard Matt Henry or Paul Bowling, and then that got him all out of sorts. Yep, you can see the Matt Henry's working across on Peter Woods. His foot gets stepped on. I've always said going under center sounds and looks easy when you're sitting on your couch. It's not always the easiest thing when you're looking straight at an NFL defensive tackle and you're getting the snap from a true freshman.
Loss of 11. Crowder now rolls the pocket. He's going to be lost. Drop for a loss for another time. That time it was Will Helt, the transfer from Purdue. Troy's going backwards.
And only the second sack for Tom Allen in this defense. Will Helt hadn't said his name so far today. The big-time transfer from Purdue. Lots been made the past couple of years of Dabo not going in the portal. Well, he certainly went in the portal when he absolutely had to. And Will Helt, he's going to go get himself a good one.
It is now 3rd and Gaffney. 26 yards. Check it, 4th down. This is desperation time right now for Troy. Crowder was banged up on that play. Got the dirtiest jersey on the field. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with 4th down. Troy lining up to punt. They're opting that 4th down, and 26 was a little bit much. Clemson didn't have anybody back. It's a beautiful kick. Can they keep it in the field of play? They cannot. Punter Evan Crenshaw did all he could do. But Troy wasn't able to cover, and it'll be a touchback.
And this drive right here has to be an Adam Randall drive.
Take another look at it. It rained a ton earlier in the day, and the Troy player just losing his footing and can't get back before the ball rolls across the goal line.
Yeah, miss out on a lot of field position as a result of that. Ends up really only being a 20-yard change of field position.
See what Clemson has been able to do in this game. They certainly didn't do it in the first half, but thanks in large part to that man right there, Adam Randall. The second half has been a different story.
Different story. Hasn't been that many possessions, but they made it a point of emphasis coming out of the first half into the second half to feed him the rock. 2-minute drill is hurry-up mode for the offense. Well, 4-minute mode. Every team in the country practices it, is when the defense knows you're running the rock and you still get it done. You have to keep the ball on the ground to keep this clock rolling.
Clemson just going 100 yards, over 100 yards rushing in the game, and Randall himself has 97. Couple there. The clock is just winding down right now. Troy desperate to get this defense off the field.
Troy is selling out with their safeties lined up very close to the box. If there any shot they trust their experienced quarterback in Cade Klubnik to throw it here. A little bit of a risk because you run the risk of the clock stopping, but you could get some advantageous matchups in your receivers on these DBs one-on-one.
Randall powers forward, and that'll move the sticks. Troy with 2 timeouts on the board. Randall's gone over 100 yards rushing on the day. You certainly wouldn't have thought that was going to happen at the end of the first half. It's been that kind of a second half for the bell cow, though, for the Clemson Tigers. You know, Dabo loves the fact that he thinks his team might be able to burn the remaining 2.5 off on this clock without giving the ball back to Troy.
One more play before the 2-minute timeout.
Keep feeding Randall. This time met the backfield, then dropped for a loss. Donnie Smith on the tackle.
Really cool story with Randall's transition from receiver to running back. Dabo met with him before the ACC championship game last year, and said, "Come be a running back," and they're glad he's in the backfield with them.
Here at Death Valley, Clemson 1 first down away from sewing this one up. They're facing a 2nd down and 12 coming out of that 2-minute timeout. Troy still has 2 timeouts on the board, so they need a big stop here. Just feeding Randall, letting him run tough. The big 235-pound tailback picks up the first down, and that should just about do it.
Tigers.
Got to be a sigh of relief for everyone on the sideline if you're Clemson. Right there, we're seeing Antonio Williams, their star receiver. He was out, but man, what a sluggish first half this was. Sluggish might even be an understatement. They were
shocking.
They
first
were
half, yes.
shocked.
But they responded, and now they'll look forward to next week. They've got a showdown as they open up ACC play along with Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Tech hammered Gardner-Webb earlier today, so they had no issues.
I don't think it's insignificant either that you had that last touchdown throw by Cade Klubnik either. I mean, to get him in rhythm and get him, some confidence, momentum going into conference play. I mean, obviously you'll take a win, but you want that number 2 playing at his best. Clemson, I still Still don't know where they're at receiver-wise in terms of if Antonio Williams is down. Is TJ Moore and Bryant Westco Jr., they love them internally, but can they be featured, go-to receivers and live without Antonio Williams? That'll be the question these next couple of weeks, should Williams be down.
Klubnik will keep it himself. Slide after picking up about a yard.
And if you're Troy and head coach Jared Parker, you got to love the fight from your guys. He had a shot right there a little bit to win this ball game, but to go toe-to-toe with the 8th-ranked team in the country, not too shabby.
Two coaches meet at midfield. I'm sure a lot of love from Dabo to Jared Parker for the effort that his Troy Trojans put out on the field today. It just wasn't quite enough as Clemson, this Tiger team, was able to pour it on in the second half and finally find their rhythm offensively. Defense was able to force a couple of turnovers, a couple of touchdown passes from Cade Klubnik. And in the end, it was a 27-16 win for the Clemson Tigers. For Max Brown, Kendra Douglas, and our entire crew, I'm Chris Cotter. Thanks for watching. Let's send you to West Urban, the crew in Blacksburg, Virginia.